yeah, I mean, don't take it wrong. Don't take my messaging wrong. It's not like I'm sitting around depressed and, wondering why is life worth living.
What you want?
What's up, YouTube? FatKings Phil coming at you for my week 340 update from vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which I had back in July of 2013. Details are below. That smile was because of a good friend of mine who says, I think you could stop with the weeks. Hell no. At least got to go up to 360. That was my highest weight. So week 360, I'll have to do something special. I'll forget that. I better put it in my calendar. Normally I wouldn't be coming back into you guys. I kind of stopped doing that. Other than at my anniversary date, and then normally like at my New Year's goals stuff, which I'm sure for those of you that follow me already know this, but in case you're catching this is your first video. So why today then? I think it's notoriously well known, I think people just come on and espouse the virtues of the process and all that good stuff, which is good. I mean, it's good to have your rallying group that you're all kind of going through the process together, to keep egging each other on and bringing positive energy to the fold. And I think that it's invaluable. As a matter of fact, I was as successful as I was because of the people that were involved in the community with me. I know a lot of folks are more or so on Instagram now, but us old schoolers, we still use the YouTubes. I use Instagram too, but more so when I do long form like this, I think this is the better format. So I've hit this weird wall of apathy about a lot of things. I've spent the time in this, it'll be 7 years, I think, this July. Yeah, 7 years. I've spent the last 6.5 years, growing as a person, and the VSG was definitely the catalyst to kind of set that all off. I've said this a bazillion times. The weight loss was, ironically, looking back, the easy part, which was the hardest part of my entire life for 42 years. Maintenance has been just as hard as losing weight back in the pre-42 years. I think that first year was just the tool did its job. The habits got set. The attitude was good. Grinding away was easy. That didn't seem so at the time, but definitely looking back. So if you're struggling in the moment, realize that looking back, you'd be like, oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. Maintenance has been tough. Maintenance after year, I think going into year 3 is when it gets tough, in my opinion. If you're trying to, there are several people that I follow that are doing very well with this, but I've been struggling with it to some degree, doing bodybuilding, trying to build your body up, and then getting really lean while doing it has specifically been a challenge for me. I either lose both or gain both together, fat and muscle. But some of my friends have done really well, and I probably should just do what they're doing. I should probably get on board with the program. I haven't been ready to commit to that just now. Not that I haven't been working out, not that I haven't been eating well, especially this week. I've been right back on track with everything. But still dealing with some traveling swelling. And, the other thing is when I work out, my muscles are flush with water, my weight is up on the scale, and I freak out. And then I start eating less, and then I try and work out on less food. And I have this vicious cycle where the number still controls me to quite a big degree. Like, I've had to slowly become more comfortable with being over 230. And I can be okay with 233. 231, 233, somewhere in there. I can be okay with those numbers as long as I know I'm working out and doing well. If I get anywhere over that number, especially if I'm over 235 or at 235, at any given point, no matter what it is, no matter if I know it's from water, I still get in the same old headspace I used to be in way back in the day. So, with all the work I've done and the heavy lifting I've done, both emotionally, mentally, physically, struggle's real, my friends. So yeah, I've been very apathetic to pretty much everything at this point, which sounds terrible, I know. But I can't just come in and be, tell you it's all rainbows and unicorns. So yeah, that's kind of where things have been. I think you kind of saw a little preview of that in my 2020 goals. I do have my plastics consult tomorrow. I'm definitely not I was really hoping to use January to get as lean as I possibly could to go in there with, the best possible canvas. I don't think I moved the ball much at all. If anything, right now, like I said, I'm still swollen with water. I can feel it everywhere in my body. I'm hoping that tonight's the night it finally breaks loose. I was traveling last week, and it tends to take me 3 or 4 days of getting back on plan to the water to let go. But I've had a lot of joint inflammation and stuff too, which is weird for me. So something's up, something definitely different going on right now. That's neither here nor there. I'll let you guys know how the plastics thing go. I'm still on the fence about plastics. I'm definitely gonna go get the consult, find out what we're looking at, dollar-wise, time down-wise, stuff like that. But this general apathy of why bother is kind of at play as well. That's a much bigger conversation. It goes into a lot of deeper facets, so we won't do that now. Yeah, so that's just kind of where things are at. However, I didn't come here just to be a dark cloud. The reason I finally decided to go ahead and record something was I happened to be walking into the gym yesterday, and it's very much been a force myself to go kind of thing. I just been forcing myself to do the right things. I don't have any motivation to do the right things. I don't have any desire to do the right things. I don't have any will. If anything, I have the will and the desire to just not do the right things. So it's just been well, it's time to go to the gym. Well, I don't want to go to the gym. Well, tough shit. You're going to the gym. That's it. And it's been like that with everything. I don't want to eat the right thing. Well, tough shit. You're going to eat the right thing. Too bad what you want. It's really kind of been like that. Anyway, I'm on the way into the gym, and I see this lady walk out, and I recognize her right away. And something different about her, though. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, hey, how are things going? And this was my friend my work acquaintance, I should say, that was getting ready to she was going to have surgery. Short little thing, super morbidly obese for sure. I mean, I'm not picking on her. We all were there. And I had seen her kind of have it snatched away from her through that whole process of working through my surgeon and their incompetent staff. Surgeon's great, staff's horrible. She got denied, and I just saw the hope go out of her eyes, and I'm like, that's it. She's not gonna keep up with it. And this was me internally. I never said this out loud. I saw her later, a couple months later. She's walking with a cane. She got oxygen on. I'm like, I know she's got comorbidities. I'm like, shit. She just gave up. She's given up. Well, then we happened to chat, and she's like, oh, I'm actually going through a doctor. I saw a doctor up in Denver, and he said that he would help me and help get this pushed through, and thank God the guy did. So anyway, this is the same lady, and you know what? No cane, no oxygen bottles. What was different? And I could tell she was smaller, but not, it when you've gone through it, but it wasn't like a significantly big difference. When you're real big, 15 pounds is a smaller percentage of your body weight. 35 pounds is still a small percentage of your body weight. So it was noticeable, but I couldn't quite place it at first. And she's like, oh, I got the surgery back in November, which I didn't even know she had it. We hadn't crossed paths. And she was just like, thank you so much for all the good advice and all the information and stuff. And you're like, wow, that's like, and it just made me stop in all my apathy and be like, this is the third person that, because you were willing to be open and honest face to face, that ended up going through with the surgery and having, at least going through with the surgery. Their success depends completely on them. I've seen people have huge success and then fall back that I've inspired, and I've seen people who have been inspired and just run with it and are killing it. And I had to stop and think, that's a direct impact of all of the choices that you made. The choice to do this, the choice to talk about it, the choice to be willing to put yourself out there and give people advice if they ask for it. And yeah, so that kind of, it kind of gave me like a little bit more of a positive attitude about everything, and like knowing that you can have that kind of effect is important. So my point there, the lesson there is, you know, make yourself available to people who are interested in doing the work, who approach you. And that segued me into another thought. We didn't really get the big rush at the gym in January this year, at least not during the times I go. I have not seen a ton. I still walk in, I get right on all my normal workout routine, and I'm in and out in the same amount of time. However, I've seen at least 4 new regulars in there that have been coming consistently. And I'd say 2 of those people are super morbidly obese. But they're in there grinding. And I remember being that guy, being the big guy in there grinding, trying to get that to solve my problem. And I so want to like somehow slip into the conversation, you know, or leave my phone open with my, on my, you know, make my old picture my lock screen or some shit, just so they see it and maybe breach the conversation. But you can't go to the person and be like, hey man, let me solve your whole problem. Because until somebody's looking to solve their problem and desperate enough to ask for help, they're not probably gonna change. And you see them in there doing the workout, so you know they want to change, so that I'm more inspired to say something. So the way I kind of handle those situations, like I said, is I kind of just leave it out there. I have a conversation with somebody else in front of them who knows already, and then I let them approach me from there, if they approach me. A lot of times they don't. So that's been kind of a juxtaposition there for me, like to have somebody I know that has been helped, 2 people I know especially that have been helped by it, and knowing that there's 2 more people here who are grinding away, willing to do work to get there. And again, they've been there all January, so that's, you know, that's a commitment. They've stuck it out for 4 weeks. God, I wish I could help them, but oh well, we'll see. So yeah, those were my thoughts for week 340. Sorry, week 40, yeah, right? Week 340. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, don't take it wrong. You know, don't take my messaging wrong. It's not like I'm sitting around depressed and you know, wondering why is life worth living or anything like that. It's just I'm just still grinding to get to where I want to be as a person. And I mean, I don't think that ever stops, but I think sometimes you think, especially as you get into the emotional mental work, the things that should matter to the universe, people that you care about, life, they don't. They just don't. Like, it's all about you. And yeah, I'm thankful for what I have, and I definitely pat myself on the back for all the work I've done. I mean, the stuff that you can't see. I mean, it's all going on in the background, and the fact that I can pick up on certain things and not get affected by other things. But it's weird when you view the game through a different lens. Sometimes all the things that you thought were so important just don't matter. I mean, do you want them to still matter? You think they should still matter, but they just don't. Like, they just don't. And it can be a little bit deflating and make you a little numb to the whole process. So I'm sure that there is another level that when I level up to the next level, that this will all make sense. But right now, it's just kind of where I'm at. So I thought I'd share and say, hey guys, it is what it is. And if you're going through the same thing, you're not alone. And you know, kind of bring it full circle. If I share it, maybe it affects somebody else and they make the same or different choices for them, you know, inspired by that decision, and they get to be in a better, happier place. So, all right, guys. Well, hope all's well. And until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.